what they offer you is gray and promises dystopian control. They offer you safety and security purchased with the currency of your freedoms. But on this channel, we say absolutely not. The warmth and freedom of individual liberty will pass on from us to the next generation, and it starts right now. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, how we're going to fix this bad boy together. Guys, they're not handling it well. It turns out on the exact same day that Mexico got its teeth kicked in by the SCOTUS in a unanimous 9-0 decision in Mexico versus Smith & Wesson because of the PLCAA, the Democrats in the Senate and the House got together and introduced a bill to get rid of the PLCAA. Now, of course, this has about a snowball's chance in hell of doing anything, but dang it, don't let that get in the way of your virtue signal, because they are not taking it well, and I'm going to celebrate it a little bit right here. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think, and of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. That is the way that you guys every single day can beat the YouTube censorship algorithm and do your due diligence and kick a gun controller in the teeth. All right, let's get into it, guys. Today is the last day of the limited time design shirts. We're coming for our rights. Uncle Sam is pissed. He's pissed in black. He's pissed in navy. Links in the description box below. Male and female options available. But bottom line, we wear what we believe. That's why I make all the shirt designs that I make. This one is ending today. It's limited time. We're coming for our frickin' rights. Just in time to make you look great on July 4th. I think it's pretty clear. And I think you guys will love it and look great doing it. Everything will be linked in the description box below. Check it out. Let's get to the story. All right. So this is a really important piece of what we'll cover on my X profile at Braden LOA. You see this tweet right here? This factors into the topic. Every town for gun safety. Nearly 6 out of every 10 gun deaths in the United States are suicides. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. Hold every single phone. That means that 4 out of 10 are homicides. So the narrative that 46,000 people per year are killed by guns is just bullshit. Because they just said it right there. 6 out of 10 are suicides, which, by the way, I want that number to be 0. But if you're going to say that that's all gun violence, then you're artificially inflating the numbers of gun violence by about 125, 130% just to take people's rights away. That's why we're on X. That's why we are engaging on the field of ideological battle. And join us at Braden LOA to spread and dispel those fears and manipulations. Let's get into the content here. All right. That's going to play back in a second. So Chris Murphy, of course, and Blumenthal and their colleagues introduced a bicameral bill to repeal the gun industry's legal liability. This is on June 5th. Now, of course, the irony there is June 5th is the day that even the liberal justices kicked the gun controllers through Mexico right in the teeth. Same day. They're not taking it well. Now, according to the U.S. Senators Chris Murphy and Richard Blumenthal, they were joined today in the first week of Gun Violence Awareness Month. Now they're claiming the whole month. Don't tell the pride, people. Adam Schiff was there, so that's amazing. Eric Swalwell, Jason Crow, Mike Thompson, all the who's who of infringers, they're all there. The bill that they're introducing would repeal the Protection and Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, the PLCAA, passed by Congress in 2005, which gives the gun industry a unique and unjustifiable legal liability shield that protects gun manufacturers from lawsuits. Yeah, the same day that you got absolutely stuffed because you tried to circumvent that exact same law through Mexico versus Smith & Wesson, where even the liberal justices said, yeah, nah, y'all crazy. The same day, now all of a sudden it's back to being unfair. Let's not even get into the whole math of how that would actually work. That would have to go through the House, then that would have to go through a filibuster, and then have to go through the Senate, and then the president would have to sign it. Tell me more about your virtue signaling use for your own gratification for these bills. It is the biggest joke on the planet. This is not even viable. Yet they still do it and act like it is 100% guaranteed. Almost like they have a benefit. And wait till I show you who's there, because they use these bills to bolster their own name recognition, which to me is crap. So, the who's who here. Murphy, Blumenthal, Swalwell, Schiff, Evans, and Thompson announced the legislation today during a virtual press conference, joined by leading gun violence prevention advocates. Chris Brown, president of Brady, that's a gun control group. Angela Farrell Zabala, executive director of Moms Demand Action, that's the Wine Box group. Adam Skaggs, chief counsel and vice president of Giffords Law Center. Huh. Almost like they're doing that so they can boost up some net revenues from their audience. Huh. Weird. Katie's got the whole video. She's going through it. Just more to come on that. Now, here's some quotes, though. Quote, there's absolutely no reason why the gun industry should get special treatment when it comes to negligence. Their immunity from lawsuits effectively gives them a license to kill. It's past time for Congress to repeal the PLCAA and allow gun violence victims their day in court, said Chris Murphy, chief liar and pocketbook babyback of the gun controllers. Now, they have a license to kill. That's interesting, because the lawsuit that they just got smoked on in Smith & Wesson versus Mexico, they said they were aiding and abetting Mexican drug cartels, and they knew they were making the guns for the cartels because they had to establish cause for guilt. But now, all of a sudden, they have a license to kill. See how it completely just obfuscates reality and just they make up their own? Okay. PLCAA is the ultimate sweetheart deal. Legal immunity afforded to basically no other industry, the healthcare industry with the little Fauci ouchie, by the way. They get it. That kills tens of thousands of Americans every year, said Blumenthal. Despite the strength and perseverance of the Sandy Hook, Uvalde, and Highland Park families and the tenacity of their legal teams, this is a problem that cannot be solved only through the courts. PLCAA must be repealed by Congress because it's the thing that we foresaw 20 years ago where you guys were going and got in front of it. This is the reason they can't destroy the gun manufacturers, the PLCAA, and now they go after the legislation. And even though they know it has no chance in hell of going through, now it's all about virtue signal and saying that they have a license to kill. This is idiotic. But don't worry. Don't let rationale and reasoning get in the way of a good narrative. Let's keep going. No industry in America has a liability shield like gun manufacturers, distributors, dealers, and importers, said Eric Swallowwell. I said it. The NRA and their GOP stooges made sure that the gun industry has a unique immunity from accountability. This bill ends that ridiculous carve-out. It's not going to end it. This bill has zero chance in hell. They put this forward when Biden was president. They had the full arm, they had the full House, and they had the full Senate. Didn't go anywhere. Republicans have 54 senators. They have the House and the White House. Where do you think this is going to go other than some shelf of when every year on the regular in June, the Gun Violence Awareness Month, they're just going to dust it off to get more donations. This is a game, and the sooner you see it as a game, the sooner you can call BS on this. Again, that's why I showed you the tweet at the beginning. More than 100 Americans are killed by a gun every single day in America, so that would, again, going back to this tweet right here, so that means 4 people are killed by homicide and 6 by suicide. Doesn't sound like it's a gun problem. Sounds like it's a different problem. And yet Congress does nothing to hold the gun industry accountable when the negligence of gun makers and dealers are responsible for the tragic consequences their products have on our kids, our families, and our communities. As long as gun violence continues to take the lives of so many in California and across the nation, I will fight to repeal the liability shield that wrongfully protects negligent gun industry actors from liability, said Shifty Shift Pencil Neck. You're literally looking at them bemoaning the idea that they are getting smoked by a law passed in 2005 that they can't repeal. This is all about their own notoriety at this point. Let's keep going. In the 20 years since PLCAA was passed, it's become clear that the negligent gun manufacturers and dealers have taken advantage of the law. Responsible manufacturers and dealers don't need this legal protection. Oh, really? Like Smith & Wesson was giving guns to the cartel? Like that? Okay. Yeah. And irresponsible ones are hiding behind it. As a hunter, combat veteran, and responsible gun owner, so I'm one of you guys, I'm proud to work with Senator Blumenthal and Representative Swallowwell to introduce this sensible legislation, said Thompson, chair of the Gun Violence Prevention Task Force. God. Put your boots on. The BS is insane. When Congress passed the PLCAA, its supporters argued that it was necessary to protect the gun industry from frivolous lawsuits like the Mexican lawsuit that on this exact same day got kicked out of the country. But don't worry, it's frivolous. Frivolous ones don't count, except the Mexican one where they just took it all the way to the Supreme Court over 4 years, wasting millions of dollars. See how this is all just a lie? Anyway, last thing. This is kind of the fingerprints. The legislation is endorsed by Braden, Giffords Law Center, Everytown for Gun Safety, March for Our Lives, Guns Down America, Newtown Action Alliance, and Sandy Hook Promise Action Fund. Almost like they are just netting for donations because they're flexing the political connections. Again, this is why we follow at Braden LOA and we have a conversation on here, because we can spread stuff like this and completely dispel their narrative. That's what this is all about, beating these people at their own game. And we are just now getting started. You guys have seen nothing yet, and more is coming. But it starts with sharing and defeating these bogus BS talking points. That's what I've got for you guys on this day. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.